All right, welcome back to another masterclass. Tonight, we are going to be joined by the wonderful Dr. Tamarra Allen. She is the founder of Social Currencies. She teaches people how to start family businesses, okay, and which is super vitally important. She's going to teach you everything, okay? So we are going to be learning so much from Dr. Tamarra Allen, and I'm super excited. She is a good friend of mine. And she's going to be teaching you about funding too. So let's find out what she has in store for us. Hey, Dr. Tamarra Allen, how are you? You have the floor.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
So excited to be here. Oh, my camera's not on. Sorry about that. I like to make sure that I have my camera on because, we don't want to be on here like we're by ourselves, right? Talking to ourselves, right?
Yes,
So
so
you guys can turn your cameras
beautiful.
on and participate. Thank you. It's been a wild hair day. I have to say, it's definitely been a wild hair day. So it's funny, but I am super duper excited to be here with you all. And I am all about audience participation. So everybody, let's drop it in the chat to say thank you to Chrissy because we love her so much. She's always giving us amazing information. She's always giving us amazing information. So if we could just put a quick fire sign or a thank you inside of the chat for the 7 ways of wealth, because she is amazing. Okay. And you guys know she's amazing. So nobody's gonna turn the cameras on. We need your cameras on. Like, I need to know who I'm speaking to. I mean, like, really, this is all about audience participation. Okay. And the first rule to getting wealth is you need to know how to follow directions. Okay. And if you're not following directions, how do you expect to get to the bag? How do you expect for people to support you and you can't even follow the simple things that way? And I know we want to hide behind the camera. I don't like being on half the time either. Okay. I want to be in my pajamas. I'm just gonna keep it real. I want to be in my pajamas. Who's with me on that? Who wants to be in their pajamas? Okay. But if I'm gonna be in my pajamas, I'm gonna be in my pajamas making money. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen on that? Okay. If we're gonna be in our PJs, then we need to be. So Tiffany said amen on that. She was real quick to respond to that. Thank you, Tiffany. She's like, yes, I want to make money in my pajamas. So I'm super duper excited. So grateful for Chrissy. She's an amazing mom. She's an amazing business owner, amazing wife, out here dropping nuggets always. I was listening to her the other day when she was putting down the Trump analysis. I was like, yes, because people don't understand the way to wealth, right? It's unfortunate, but it's fortunate. Whether you like them or not, I will have to say that it was pretty good business savvy to sit up here and, put your items up under a trust. And I think everybody should have a trust. Everyone should have a trust. I'm excited about that. We're going to be talking about that in the beginning of November with my guy. He's going to be talking about trust, but everybody should have a trust. Does anybody on here have a trust? Hi, Colin. Does anyone on here have a trust? Drop me a 1 inside the chat. Drop me a 1 inside the chat. You have a trust? Does everybody have an LLC or a holding company? Do anyone have a holding company? If you have a holding company, drop me a 2 inside the chat. Check the link in the bio, Michael, so you can DM me, okay? All right, check it too. So whether you have a trust or if you have a holding company. If you have an LLC, drop a 3 inside the chat. Drop a 3 inside the chat if you have an LLC. Okay, so you got an LLC. We got a couple of folks who got an LLC. Okay, drop a 3 inside the chat. All right, fantastic. If you are a small business owner, drop a 4 inside the chat. If you don't have an LLC, drop a 4 inside the chat. If you don't, drop a 4. Drop a 5 if you're just not going to do anything. If you're not gonna say anything, just drop a 5, okay? Just drop a 5 inside the chat if you're just not going to participate, right? But I stay in this happy state 90% of the time because I'm able to work for myself. I'm actually able to work with my family. I'm actually able to work with my son. So that's just like amazing in itself. I have 2 amazing sons, and I work with my husband as well. But I have two, when my husband is not feeling, when he's feeling well, because right now he's not feeling well, but generally it's the three of us that's in the forefront. And we are called Social Currencies, and we are truly about the family business. It's all about the family business. It's all about showing people that they can be in business with their family and literally make that and create that legacy. Who would like to create a legacy, a dynasty, an empire with their family? Drop me a 7 inside the chat if that's something that you're interested in. Drop a 7 inside the chat if that's something that you're interested in. Literally being able to have a true legacy with your family where you guys are leaving money and money to generations to come. Just leaving wealth. Who would just like to leave some wealth? Okay. I'm not talking about being rich. I'm talking about being wealthy. Anybody interested in being wealthy? Okay. Because that's important. It doesn't matter if the plant scamdemic is going, yeah, that's what I call it, the plant scamdemic, because, it was all about a shift. Okay. Christy, am I able to share my screen real quick?
Yes.
I just want to introduce my proud family. I just want to introduce my proud family because I am really proud of my family. This is my son. He's actually the operations manager. He's the CEO of our company. He deals with all the operations of our company. And then it's Alexander. He's the chief marketing officer. They're in their 20s, so it's just like crazy because they're not babies anymore. So I just can't tell them what to do. Like, do what I tell you to do. They're actually men and they're actually my partners. So thus for, we have meetings every day. And then of course, there's my amazing husband. He deals with the metaverse side and all the virtual stuff. So for those who want to buy real estate in the metaverse and thank you, Tiff, all that beautiful stuff, that's where, he deals with that portion. Me, I deal with the funding. Let's get to the money so we can start using other people's money to build some wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to use my money. Who want to use their money to build wealth? Do you want to use your money? You want to be cash rich and credit poor? Okay. I don't want to be cash rich and credit poor. I want to use other people's money to build my wealth. Okay. I think that's absolutely important. And that's what other people do. Okay. So when you understand who you are and whose you are, when you understand that you are the person that's in control, that you are the living soul, you have an opportunity. You can never be denied credit. All right. But you got to know who you are in order to understand that you are in control. Do you know that? Do you know that you are actually the one that's in control? Do you know that the banks don't have money? Do you understand that? Do you understand that the banks don't have money? Drop me an 8 in the chat if you understand that the banks don't have money. Drop me an 8 in the chat if you understand that the banks don't have money. Does anyone have a question about that? Or have an understanding that the banks don't have money and that you are actually ones that are in control? And that if we decided that we don't want to bank with one person, that we could shut that whole bank down? Like, really? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of 1933, the 1933 Act, when it was the bank store? Yes, we are the creditor. That is absolutely correct. We have the power. We control it. And once we understand that we are in control, that we can move as a unit, we can shut it all down. Like, seriously. But a lot of people walk through, with that, and not understanding, and I just really want to put this on. And the reason why I say that, because some people don't get it. And I like to show this because it's very powerful when we start talking about money and credit, and people are just very uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable talking about money? Drop me a 9 in the chat if you're uncomfortable talking about credit and money. You shouldn't be if you're dealing with Chrissy over here, because she talks about money all day long. Okay. Chrissy talks about money. I think I talk about money all day long. All right. But because we were able to unlock the Pandora's box of financing, being able to have unlimited abundance. I get chills every time I say that. We have opportunity to receive unlimited abundance, and it's up to you to say, I want it. But you got to know how to get to it. So the one thing that I want to play first, I think this is of the utmost importance, is because when I realized this, when I truly realized this, that's when things became absolutely clear. So I'm just going to play this real small clip because it's the bomb. I think we all have seen it before.
What it is. The matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church.
Are y'all listening to this?
When you pay your taxes.
Yeah, listen.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
Are you guys listening to this? A prison for your mind?
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the matrix is.
Correct.
You have to see it for yourself.
If I say to you, which pill are you going to take?
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Don't be scared, y'all.
Follow me.
So I love playing that when I'm talking to people, because some people just cannot wrap their head around the fact that you are the original creditor, and that unless you go into a bank, they make no money, and that you are either operating as a person, which is an entity, a corporation is what you are when you were born, or you're operating as a consumer, which is a living soul. So you have to make that determining factor. So when you go out here and start getting credit and start building yourself up and building up a family legacy, you need to know how you're going to operate. It's just that simple. Yeah, you have to know which way you're going to turn. Am I going to operate as a corporation, an entity, a trust, or am I going to act as a living sack of blood? They're two different things, okay? So when we decided to go into business with each other, it was more of, hey, I had an opportunity. I lived the so-called American dream. I did what my mom told me to do. My family, I went to school. I got the degrees. I'm talking to 1 degree, degrees, went in student loan debt, just trying, and I'm trying to figure it out. I was like, okay, I had a traditional business. I made my first million at 32. I got married, to the band that I love, and had 2 wonderful children, but we in debt. Who in debt on here? Drop me a 9 if you're in debt. Drop me a 9 inside of the chat if you are. Let's just keep it real. I mean, you got to be honest with yourself, okay? If you got more bills, they call them bills, but they're actually statements at the end of the month than you do money, okay? It's like, man, it's like you're like a dog chasing your tail. It's like you're literally standing in the midst of quicksand because you are trying to play catch up every 5 seconds. It's like every week. It's like you got a good week and then you got a not so good week. because we're not going to claim a bad week. So we got a good week, got a not so good week. And then here it is, you're not working together as a family unit. Okay, so you can move yourself forward. So we look at other nationalities and how some of them, they'll all live in one house. You know, they all live in one house. And they'll buy up the corner store. And then when one does well, then they go ahead and then the other one will move into another, move into another one where they have a business. Then at the end of the day, all of them got a business. But they sacrifice. And what it is, folks don't want to sacrifice anymore. Am I telling the tale? I feel so weird talking to myself and nobody's got the camera on except for Miss Tiff over there. Some interaction. I appreciate you guys interacting, but let's turn some of these cameras on. Okay. So when I sit up and think about it, I've been on this earth for 54 years and I'm like, okay, let me get my workout on. My husband, he got hurt, fell from a scaffold, got addicted to pain medication. We almost lost our house, in a bankruptcy. It was just crazy. And I had, so a friend of mine showed me, she said, hey, why don't you start trading? And I was like, trading, girl, but I'm not going to do that. But I learned the skill set of trading and learned how to trade Forex and crypto, which is my favorite. I love Bitcoin. That's my best friend. I'll trade that all day long when I need to. And it allowed us to save our home from going into foreclosure. But what it was is we had a community of individuals, and here it is, my sons, we did it together. We saved our home while my husband was sick and he was in the hospital in the treatment center. We came together as a family. And that's how we knew that we could work together. We knew we could work together prior to that because my sons had always did stuff with me. But the fact that, we knew as adults, they were children, but now they're adults and they were like, hey, well, let's do this business. I've always wanted us to work together. So we figured out where each other's strong suits were. We did that personality test so we could see, which is called the DISC. And John C. Maxwell does that. We did that test and we were able to figure out each other's strong suit so we can know who would do what in our business. Then we set up and created the corporation, then the holding company, and finishing up with the trust because we want to own nothing but control everything. All of my sons right now are in the midst of getting their insurance license. Why? Because we have whole life insurance policies that we want to become our own bank and live off of our insurance company as opposed to living off of any earnings that we receive so we can create other streams of income. See, us in the community, I'm going to ask you guys one simple question. Do you use a debit card or do you use a credit card? Drop that inside of the chat. Everybody that's in all the virtual lands, drop it in the chat. Are you using a credit card or are you using a debit card? Okay. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Credit card or debit card? Does everyone have a credit card? Let me ask that question. Does everyone have a credit card? Okay. 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 The credit card is a poor man's credit, and we should never be using a debit card, like on some real talk. We should never use a debit card. Do you understand why? Does anybody understand why? Give me some feedback. Unmute your phone. Tell me why you should never.
That's actually opposite of what I heard just because of interest on the credit card. So I was always trained to use, your debit before you use credit.
Okay. It's your
debit doesn't build up any points like a credit card will.
Come on, somebody. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna show you one more thing. And again, I like to back up everything with facts. Okay. I like to back up everything with facts. So just listen closely. Now, this gentleman that's going to be talking, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Catch Me If You Can. Leonardo DiCaprio played in that movie. And who he played is this man right here. So I want you to listen very closely to what he's saying.
Now, one other tip I'll give you is I don't own a debit card. I've never owned one. I've never allowed my 3 sons to possess one. Certainly and truly the worst financial tool ever given to the American consumer.
So a long time ago, I asked myself a simple question: how would I remove 99.9% of my personal liability like that? Because I really don't want to worry about all these things. So I use the safest form of payment that exists on the face of the earth, and that is a credit card. Credit card. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover card. Not debit credit, but credit card. Every day of my life, I spend their money. I don't spend my money. My money sits in a money market account. It earns interest. Actually, nobody knows where it is because it's not exposed to anybody to find it. It's just sitting there. I go to the dry cleaner, I give them my card. I pick up the groceries, I give them my card. I put fuel in my boat on the weekend, I use my card. I pay the marina to keep my boat in the water all year long. They put the rent on my credit card. I travel all over the world. While I wait to get reimbursed, I use my credit card. If I need euros, I go to the ATM machine, I use my credit card. I'm not going to use my debit card to get euros overseas or pounds in Great Britain. And every day I use my card. And then if I pay the bill in full or part of the bill, my credit score goes up. So I'm building credit while I'm using that credit card. And if tomorrow, and I'll do everything to protect my information, but if tomorrow someone gets my card number and charges $1 million on my credit card by federal law, my liability is zero. I have no liability. So yes, I love to shop online. I don't use a special card. I just use my credit card. If they don't deliver the merchandise, if they deliver it and it's broken, if the host site I went to was fictitious to begin with, I have zero liability. When you use your debit card, every time you reach for it, you're exposing the money in your account. The only person who's going to get robbed is you. When you use your debit card, you could use it for the next 50 years, 20 times a day. You will not raise your credit score by that much. And of course, when you use your debit card, you are liable up to a certain amount, and it takes a while in order to get that debit card fixed. So when we do post investigations at breaches, and we say to someone, on your instance, what happened? Well, I was in Target, but I used a Visa card. So I don't know, nothing. They canceled my card the next day. 2 days later, FedEx sent me a new card, and that was the last I heard about it. What about you? And I used a debit card there. It took $3,000 out of my checking account. It took me 2 months to get my money back while they said they were investigating. I had to pay my rent, had kids' tuition, everything. I couldn't pay it because they had my money. So I do it for that. So I had 3 sons that went off to college, and I said to them, I'm not giving you a debit card. I've actually applied for a credit card in your name. So it's your card. Of course, you're 18, you have no credit. So I guaranteed the card. So as a guarantor of the card, 3 things take place. 1, the bill comes to me and I'm responsible for the bill. So if you spend a lot of time in the bar, I'm going to know that. 2, I set the limit on the card. So whatever I want you to spend each month is while you're at school, I'll set that limit. 3rd, every month that I pay the bill goes on your credit. So by the time you get out of college, you should be looking at a credit score of about 800. You want to buy a car, buy a house, buy a condo, you're not going to need me to do that. All 3 of my sons came out of college with scores of around 800. One of the best things you can do for your kids is to teach them to learn to use credit early on and build credit in their name. Credit is a very important thing. 30 years ago, it only meant whether you got the car, you got the house. Today, everything is based on your credit. If a company hires you, they're going to check your credit. If you buy auto insurance, they're going to check your credit. You buy life insurance, they're going to check your credit. Everything is based on your credit. So you want to make sure that you maintain a good credit. It's one of the best things you can do with your kids.
So I want to show you that because people don't realize that credit is king. So something that was stated was, oh, because of interest rate. Well, you are playing that. Okay, hold on a second. All right. That scared me. Okay, that scared me. I thought I muted that out. I apologize. Okay. So what's crazy is, why would you be concerned with interest when you use your credit card? You're going to pay your credit card with the money that you were going to use as cash. 1, you get to gain points. You can travel for free. You can get free hotels, free airfare, all kinds of stuff. So it would be best if you use it and you're building credit. Now, if you're looking at having a business and you're looking at getting funding, they need to know that you're responsible in paying credit. So this is one of the things that we learned, Well, I taught my children, at the time, young adults, it's like you need to be responsible and know how to deal with credit. It's not free money. And some people think it's free money, and then they'll go and charge it, and then they end up putting themselves in debt. But if you're going to sit up here and use your debit card, use your credit card, and this is going to teach you discipline, because see, the debit card was the worst thing in my opinion, because back in the day, we used to write checks. So that's telling my age, all right? So we used to write checks for everything, okay? And in doing so, we had to put it in an account ledger, in a check registry. So it would make sure that we would know what it was that was left in our account. So in order to move yourself forward in your business, you got to be able to have budgeting. When you have a family business, somebody has to make sure that the books are straight. So when you're dealing with credit and even funding, you got to know how to manage your money. So I say to you, just give it a try. Just give it a try. Leave that cash in the bank. Stop being cash rich and credit poor. Use your credit card to pay your bills at the end of the month, right before the statement date. It's not the due date, it's the statement date that reports to the reporting agencies. Pay your bill and watch how your credit is going to start growing and building. You're going to be able to increase on your credit. So that's just one nugget that I want to give you guys when it comes to that, because as we move into our family business and we want to get funding, you want to make sure everybody's credit is on point. Why? Because if you are in business, you have a limited liability partnership, and you have your agreement, your operating agreement on who, you're getting ready to go for funding, they're going to want to know what your credit scores are now. So because there's so much scam and stuff out, you can actually get credit under your business and funding under your business with a no doc, meaning you don't have to have any paperwork showing what your company made. But what they are going to do is check your credit to verify that you're who you are. So you don't want to be sitting with 500 credit scores or 600 credit scores. You want to be sitting at least a 700, so you get the best funding and the best interest rate possible. So when you all are going strong in your operating agreement amongst your business, if one person, we go to the bank and and we say, hey, I own 95%, this person owns 5%. We want to get funding because they have the strongest credit. You can literally get 1.75 in funding just off of one LLC. I'm sorry, 350,000 off of one LLC. Hold on, I'm going to pull up my chart. But it's really up to you if you have to have a plan if you're going to go for this funding so you can put it into something. You guys deal with Chrissy all the time, and I know for a fact that she has 7 ways that you guys are able to make money using funding, okay? This is your opportunity to take that money using other people's money and flip it to make more money. One of the things I like is putting it into your insurance policy, letting it sit for the 31 days, borrow from that, buy some property, fix it up, flip it, take the money, pay off the insurance policy, take the money and put it into something else, and you generate another stream of income. So we got a question. I have a question. Is it true you can pay credit with credit, making a payment on mortgage with credit? You would have to liquidate that card in order to do that. Hold on one second. Let me open up a recent file. You would have to liquidate that card in order to do that. Okay. You would have to liquidate it. But one thing that I love about being able to have credit, look, pay your mortgage off for the year. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like on some real talk. If you got a credit card that got that much on there, pay your mortgage off for the year. Get those points. It's like you're borrowing against it. It has 0 interest, especially if it's under the business. And then lo and behold, what's great about it is when you get funding under business, it's not taxable because it's a loan. You literally have an opportunity, okay, to be a tax-free millionaire by using other people's money to fund your business. I don't think anybody caught that. One second, let me get my file up. I don't think anybody caught that. You have an opportunity to live free, tax-free, if you were using credit, but you guys want to continue to use your money. You continue to want to be cash rich and credit poor because you're scared to use credit. I don't get that. I want to keep as much cash as I can in my pocket so I can go ahead and buy some gold and some silver, some platinum, some copper, and my favorite, Bitcoin. That's what I want to buy. Some Ethereum. Because the fiat is getting ready. The fiat is going out of style. Does anyone know what the fiat is? Does anyone know what the fiat is? If you know what the fiat is,
car, right?
say that one more time.
It's a car.
That is one.
Like everybody investing in Tesla. Is it popular like that?
The fiat is the US dollar. That's the fiat.
Oh,
Now remember, gold used to back the US dollar, but gold actually backs the post office. I bet you didn't know that. Gold does not back the dollar, so the gold is worthless. But the gold does back the post office, okay? So what I'm saying to you is, as you go and you are, how many of you have a bank account? How many of you are a member of a bank? I'm not talking about a customer, you're a member, okay? You're not a customer, you're a member of a bank. How many of you are a member of a bank? Do you know some people don't even
What's
have
the
a credit?
difference between a customer and a member?
They call you a customer, but you are a member. The bank doesn't make any money unless a member rolls up into the bank and opens up an account. Okay? You are technically a member. And they need members to come put money in the bank. But please understand, you have no money because everything is digital DeFi money now. You do know that, right? It's digital currency. Here it is, they'll say they cashed a check. But if you want to take all the money out, you couldn't take all the money out. They're like, oh, hold on, we don't have that much cash in the bank. What do you mean? You don't have that much cash in the bank? Okay, I said, I want you to think about it. That's why I said, do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? Okay, as you're sitting up here trying to get your family business together, and I want you to think about who is it that can be trusted, you know, to handle the money in the business? Who is it that can handle the marketing? Who's going to be the face of your business and your company? It does have to be a level of trust. We have trust in our house. You know, we have trust. You know, some people say, oh God, your kids are still living with you and they're 25 and 27. I said, well, first off, yes, they moved back in after the planned scamdemic came about. And their dad died of COVID. So, you know, we were definitely very much closer to each other with them being home. And we just decided, hey, let's just save some money as we are working on our business. That's what we decided to do. They can go and move wherever they want. They don't drive fancy cars. You know, somebody said, oh, y'all need to get a newer car so folks can know that you guys are really doing it. They can see by our actions what we do. We travel the world together. We do different things together. It doesn't always have to consist of things, but for some people to see that you are successful, they want to see you with the material items. Doesn't have to be that way for us. We have a beautiful home, you know, we're good, you know, but yet and still for some people, in order for you to be successful, you have to have things. Well, I'm not going into so-called debt to appease you. Does that make sense? To make you feel good about what it is that we're doing, because we're helping people. And helping people doesn't mean that you have to overextend yourself. But again, we have unlimited abundance. So when you know that you live with unlimited abundance, you don't worry about money. Which we don't. We don't worry about money, because if I want money, I'll just call upon it and I will receive it. I know That might be hard for some people to see that, but that's honestly the God's truth. I'm like, oh, I need some money. Let me get on here and make this money. And that's basically what happens. You have to believe it. Can anybody say they can believe it? That they could just put a plan together, go online, and they can make the money? Does anybody feel that way? Does anybody feel that way? So when you have this business, your family, and you all have, you figure out who has the best line of credit. I mean, who has the best credit. You can go into a bank and you can literally get, as a no doc, up to $350,000 off of one corporation, off of one LLC. That's one. But if you have 5 LLCs, you can receive this. 1 second. I couldn't find my other file, so I'll just create it real quick for you. Now, some people can't conceive having that much money because you don't believe that you deserve to have that money. So there's a level of, do I deserve it? Or do I believe I can receive that? Okay. But if you literally had 5 LLCs, this is where you stand. And you could take that money and flip it and put it into other streams of income. Literally. So somebody who was talking about paying a mortgage off with their credit, you have an opportunity to do that, for the year. And then the cash that you were going to put on to pay your mortgage, you could use that. You pay the minimum amount on the credit card at that moment, take that money and put it into a business and flip that money. Then you create yourself profit, pay off the card, and then you have profit. Again, I'm sure 7 ways. Chris talks about this with you guys. There's other ways you can do this. Does your business have to be making a certain amount to receive the funding? Ms. Nicole, I want you to ask that question out loud. Nicole, the thing that people, when you talk to the bank, they're asking you, what is your projected income? Projected income. They didn't ask you what your income was. You could be a brand new company, just open up an LLC today, and you walked in with a 700 score. You made an appointment with the banker, and you said, look, I would like to open up an account for my business. Or you already had a relationship with the bank and you want to open up a business account. And they're like, sure. And then they're all of a sudden, they're going to ask you some questions. Well, they're questions that you need to ask. Okay. They're going to be questions that you need to ask. They say, hey, well, since you're going to open up a business account, would you like to apply for a credit card? How many times have somebody asked you, did you want to apply for a credit card? Like, nope, I ain't applying. Like, why not? If they're going to give it to you, take the money, leverage it, put it into something else that can generate a stream of income. But when we go in for funding this time, because this is a no doc, okay? This is no doc, which means it's based on your projected income per se. They'll give you up to $20,000 in a credit card and up to $50,000 in a line of credit. What if you did that with 5 banks on the same day? That's $350,000. What if we did that 5 times with 5 LLCs? That's $1.75 million that you can use to leverage to build upon a business. Now, I know you're saying, oh my God, it's a lot of money. Oh, I don't want to go in debt. This is under your business, for one. 2, you can stay doing what you're doing right now and live cash rich and credit poor, or you can start building a legacy for you and your family by leveraging other people's money to build upon your wealth. And here it is, you and your family can have a business. You can have your trust. You can have your holding company. You can have your insurance policies to live off of. You have an opportunity to change your life today as a family unit. But some of you are going to be too scared. Now, I told you I was going to give you the red pill or the blue pill. You have an opportunity to choose which one it's going to be. Now, you can shift your personal debt to your business. I'm going to ask you one other question for those who have businesses. Did you at least put your cell phone under your business? Or do you still have it on the personal? You say you got an LLC. So why is your cell phone still under your personal name? So now you're not trying to get tax breaks off of things that you're already using. Say you have a trust. Why isn't your car under your trust? Remember, you're supposed to own nothing but control everything. Okay. Here that you have a business and you're sitting up here buying every day on Amazon.com or every other day, making Amazon.com rich, and you're not even using it as a tax break where you can get a line of credit from Amazon for your business and all those things that you're shopping with for business, for personal, that you can use as business. Here it is. Now you have a tax write-off of it. But you want to continue to get paid 38 to 48 cents off of a dollar when you have an opportunity to get paid 78 cents off the dollar, off the fiat. This is how people continue to build wealth. They look for corners where they can save on taxes. And all of this money is not taxable. Why? Because it's a loan or credit, but you're able to build wealth from it. But you would rather use your money. You would rather use the cash that you have sitting in the bank. I don't understand that. Why would you do that? You want to hold on to your money. You want to use other people's money to build your wealth. Look, I'm not a Trump fan, but what I can say is if you saw how many corporations he bankrupt, LLCs that he bankrupt to build that wealth, his money. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be mean. Christy gives a great analogy of Trump, and I'm sure you guys have already heard her story. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. It's crazy the amount of bankruptcies. He's had hundreds of companies. Hundreds. And he took that money and he filed bankruptcy. Now, I'm not saying that's just to be doing it. What I'm saying to you is you have an opportunity to leverage other people's money and build your wealth. I'm not saying take the LLC and get all the money from it and dissolve it, which is what people do. What I'm saying to you is be smart and leverage and stop using your personal money so you can build a wealth. So here it is now. You guys have worked on your company, your family business together. Then everybody has their own brand. So now my son, he's sports and finance. My other one is systems and finance. And here it is, I'm funding and scaling. We all have, and my husband is technology, the metaverse and all this other stuff. Okay. But we all have our own individual, but we still have what is called the family business, because that's numero uno, a family business. And then we build out and build our own, because everybody has their own talents. But again, let's roll it back. We see some of these other nationalities and they have all of their family living in one house. One house. And they build up, and then each person goes out and get their own. And what I'm saying to you is we got to start not being so much of consuming everything and start building upon it. You can get all those nice things. You know what our thing is? We like to travel. We go to Dubai, we go to London, we go to Paris, we go to Amsterdam, we can go to Africa, China. That's what we like to do. We want to see the world because there's so much more than just the United States and the city of Atlanta. There's a whole world out there that you need to be seeing, that you can build upon, culture and things like that, that you can bring back. And you may say, hey, I found something over there and I can start a business with that right there. But because you're scared and you want to use your money and you don't want to build upon the credit that you have so you can form other businesses, You stay complacent and stay where you are. And then you're wondering why, they said what it was 1.2 million people that became millionaires this past year. The question is, do you want to be the next millionaire? Okay. Who wants to be the next millionaire? There's 21 million millionaires in the United States, about to be 22 million millionaires. And there are millionaires that are being made every single day. Do you want to be the next millionaire? That's the real question. I said to you earlier, I made my first million at the age of 32. And then I lost money, and then I made it back. And then I lost money, and I made it back. Say it again, Mr. Donnell. I will be the one that is the next millionaire. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Michael, I am the next millionaire. So there's going to be a level of sacrifice. So I'm going to say this. If your credit score is in the 500s, you need to be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. If your credit score is in the 600, you need to be waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You don't have time to sleep if your credit score is crap. You need to be on your grind and on your hustle. Would you guys agree or agree? Or am I just talking smoke? Can I get some feedback on this one right here? Can I get some feedback? I only got 3 comments, so I'm talking smoke.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, Ms. Ronnie. I appreciate that. So it's really all about how are you going to leverage your talents? How are you going to turn your talents into profits? How are you going to take your credit and start leveraging it so you can use other people's money? I had a good friend of mine in Florida, and he was boasting, I got an 812 credit score. By the time my credit score was 720, my credit better than yours. I said, yeah, but you don't use your credit for nothing. You don't use it to leverage. My credit goes up and down. The highest my credit score has been is a 780. And my credit score was down in the 500s, okay? I said, but I use my credit to leverage so I can make more money. You're just using it to brag and boast because you got an 800 credit score. Whereas I'm sitting over here building multiple streams of income, and you got one. So I'm gonna ask you another question. As you build your family business, who did they help? And I know this is terrible to say, but we made the most money during the pandemic. It was crazy. We made the most money during the pandemic. I'm sorry. I say the pandemic so much that it just rolls off my tongue. Scamdemic, okay? So you have to make a decision on what is going to be. I know, Danya, I do. It just, I don't even say, what is it? Pandemic, okay? Because I can't even remember the name. Because I literally say scamdemic, okay? So you got to make a decision today. Are you going to leave a legacy for you and your family? Or are you going to stay in existence? Miss Kayla, you at work? Oh, baby, she a nurse. You a nurse, a doctor? I remember when I was in the hospital last year with COVID. And the lady that was my respiratory, she said, I'm gonna quit. I said, what I need to do, get out of here, because I was teetering. It was a pandemic. It's a scamdemic too. I was teetering. I said, I do not want to go to the ICU because I know it was a 50-50 chance for me to come out. Am I right or wrong, Miss Kayla? You can shake your head. You ain't got this.
It was actually less than that. You had maybe a 5% chance of coming out. I work in the ICU.
Girl, don't tell me that 5%.
Well, during COVID, I can count on one hand how many of my patients made it out.
Well, the boy's dad didn't make it out. I did. Okay.
Thank God for that.
And when I was admitted into the emergency room at the time, and my breathing was very low, and I didn't even know that I had a temperature because it was really faking you out. Okay. So you didn't even know that you were having temperature, but here it is, you're panting because you're trying to breathe, right? So as I'm sitting in the emergency room for almost 4 days in an emergency room with a mask over my face, trying to live, trying to breathe. And if you don't believe me, you can look at my social media because you'll see it last September. Okay. Here it is. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna die up in here and leave my sons when they've already lost their dad. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. So I said, what is it that I need to do? She said, I need you to breathe through this thing. I said, I don't want to breathe. I want to breathe on my own. So the first few days I did, the first week I did what they told me to do. I left the mask so it can open me up. They gave me the steroids and I was sitting, here it is. I'm sitting on the pot, the bed is right here and I'm connected because I couldn't even move. I had no bathroom. I had a bathroom, but no, not an emergency room. I'm sitting in the pot and I'm doing like this so I can exercise. Because if you just laid there and you don't do nothing, COVID was coming to get you. I said, what do I need to do to get out of here? So all I could think about was my family. I remarried and my sons, and I did not want to leave my son. They've already lost their dad to COVID. I didn't want them to lose me. And so the family business is very important to us. It's about leaving a legacy. So if something was to happen to me, will my family be okay? That is the number one priority for me. Will they be okay? So can you ask yourself, if something happened to you today, will your family financially be okay? Could they live without your weekly, monthly paycheck? Could they? Will it happen for you? That's the unfortunate part. You can't even answer that and tell yourself if your family, it's not to say that they won't, in the Black and brown community, we're always in a sense living paycheck to paycheck, but we always find a way, so to speak. Okay. But some other nationalities didn't have that. So they sit up here, when the pandemic came out, like, ooh, what's happening? But we were accustomed to living paycheck to paycheck or making a way out of no way. That's my favorite. Make a way out of no way. And each and every single one of you have an opportunity to take you and your family to make a way out of no way and build upon that and create the legacy that you want to build. So Mr. Bruce is here. Hi, Bruce. How are you? Mr. Bruce works along with us. I'm so grateful for him. I have life insurance, so mine will, even though it depends on what type of life insurance you have, whether it's term or whole life. Okay. Whether it's term or whole life, you got to be smart. Okay. I had somebody who was paying on a term policy for 15 years, not making no money off of that policy. Had paid $125 a month for 15 years and can't even borrow against it to leverage it to make additional streams of income. So you got to be smart about what it is that you're doing. That's why I said to you, do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? 15 years. That was $22,000. And you couldn't even borrow against that money to leverage it for a business that you can use. Whole life is for living, term is for when you die. You ain't dead yet. So why are you worried about a term? That money can roll over and you can use it for something else. Exactly. We got to start. And see, the thing is, we accept what other people tell us because, oh, you need to get insurance, you need to get the term. Yeah, they're profiting. And to me, that's just in case insurance, because that's only for, again, when you die. It's not for when you're living. You want the living insurance, which is whole life. So you can leverage it and do what you need to do to build upon your wealth. So I'm going to leave it there and open up the door. Chris, did you want me to talk about anything else?
I was hoping that you could touch on grants.
Okay. So there are so many grants. Let me pull up some grants that are available right now There's so many grants that are out right now that you have an opportunity, and grant generally means you don't pay it back. Okay, you don't pay the money back. But there are some things that you do have to do in order to qualify for those grants, which is be in business. Okay, have a business. Get yourself a business so you can start collecting some of this money that's available. All right, there's still SBA money that's out right now, and people are not claiming this money. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Okay, you can get this money. Okay, so let me pull up. I got some information on some grants that are available right now in the month of October. I mean, like, what was it? What type of businesses do you guys have? What type of businesses do you guys have?
I have makeup.
You got makeup? Okay, well, Alibaba, where you get your makeup from?
Ulta or Sephora.
Okay. All right. So you have a makeup business. So let me just give you a listing of some of these grants that were available, that are still available right now. Today is the 12th. The Lenovo Evolve Small Grant is available to Small Business Grant Fund that expires on the 14th. The National Association of Realtor Grants for those who are in the real estate industry. The Orr Schneider Regional Residency Grant. These are grants that you can literally apply for right now. Literally, right this very second. Okay. HV, they have so many grants. So another thing too is you guys want to really consider government grants. So you will have to get your SAM number, which is like a DUNS number, but it's a government number. You know, there are so many contracts that are available. Not sure if you wanted me to touch on what I got going on, because we have somebody that's going to be coming to speak on grants, Chris. And in November, I'm actually having an event. We have somebody that's going to be coming to speak on grants, on government grants. But these are just some of the grants that you can apply for. So let's just look up one of Grubhub Community Fund, okay? Entrepreneur Access Network. Let's just look this one up, okay? Let's just look this one up. Hold on. Let's look this one up. There are so many grants that are available that you have an opportunity to pull from and get funding from, anywhere from $2,000 up to $5 million in grants. But you need to have a business in place. They have a grant for everything. I'm gonna be quite honest. They have so many grants, it is crazy. They have a grant for knitting. Can you believe that? For knitting. Okay. Any questions?
I know a grant they probably don't have one for.
What, Mr. Orlando?
Well, you know, I eliminate mortgage, so I know they don't have a grant for that.
For eliminating mortgages?
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be surprised what they have grants for.
If they have a grant, if they have a grant for that, please let me know.
So let me flip the script when you say eliminating mortgage, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think those people who help pay your mortgages for? That's a grant. When you're getting mortgage assistance, that's a grant.
Well, what I do is we look for errors. We look for errors in the contract.
Okay. I like it. I like that.
So you know, I do the. Well, I do this through the client, but I mean, if I can get a grant every time to do it, but I mean, that's their bread and butter. So that's why I said I know they not giving no grants, so I can be wiping out the mortgage, because that's how the industry is making the bread. So that's what I meant by that.
Well, you really don't want me to get into what it is with the grants now. Look, with the mortgage. So look.
Oh, I know already.
Okay, look, let's just roll it back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who has a mortgage, you don't even own your home anyway. You are a renter of your own property because you signed it right back over to them within the documents. And if you don't read and you're just all excited about, oh, I'm getting a house, well, you don't even own the land that you're on.
Well, no, they don't own the land, but they do actually own the house.
No, they don't.
No, wait, hold. Because the reason why is because the credit already financed. Is because it's under that unilateral contract that you enter into, and you're right, you sign it back over. But when they sign that deed of trust, if they just take their name off of it and just sign the deed of trust without the mortgage, because that's two separate contracts already. That's one, which they tell a homeowner, oh no, that those two contracts go together. No, they don't. They two separate. But because it's a unilateral contract, the credit already financed it, and they didn't get them that SSA 89, which on that form it says what is the social security number being ran, and
they were paid at that moment in time.
Right. The house was already paid, so
you're getting ready to pay for it again. So they done been paid 2-3 times off that mortgage.
Well, when the deed don't even have to be recorded. There's no law requiring it to be recorded. So just on that fact alone, that's deed fraud. On that fact alone. So we actually having a class on over. Me and my partner is having a class November 5th and 6th on showing.
Now, why you gonna do that November 5th and 6th, and I'm having my event on November 5th and 6th? I would have loved to have joined your class.
Oh, well, see, I never knew that. I didn't know that. So, I mean, all right, well.
Well, I'm having it in Atlanta, Donnell, so we're having an event, but it would have been nice if you could have been here.
Well, this is actually virtual. So what time is your event?
Well, you know what? I'll talk with Christy and get her approval, and maybe we can have you simulcast in on our event, because that right there, when people understand that they have the power. Okay, so hold on one second. Instagram land, I gotta go. I appreciate you. Facebook land, I gotta go. I appreciate you. We'll be back with another one. All right, so the reason why I want to turn that off, because I don't be wanting them to hear. I've been in my home for 19 years. I've only paid my mortgage for 3 because it was a part of mortgage fraud. So they separate the promissory note from paperwork. So we still fighting, but yet and still I haven't paid a mortgage for 3 years.
I love that, because soon as I come in, I mean, and do what I do, you won't get no mail. You won't get no mail.
So let me say this to everybody to understand about building wealth and talking about. So we take that unilateral. So I said, where's my original instrument? Supply me with the original instrument. They can't. Plus, you can't even technically touch me because you don't separate the promissory note. Well, you cannot separate the promissory note.
It was never supposed to be recorded. That's the number one issue from the door, because it was supposed to originally come back to you.
And they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Right. So when people start understanding that we have been duped, we're just going along based on what they told us to do. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? We just go, well, that's what they told us to do, so that's what we do. You got to start asking questions.
Yeah. And stop getting so excited over saying, oh, I got a house. Yeah, you got a house, but how do you got the house? I mean, you need to ask them, well, what kind of contract is this? Is this unilateral or bilateral?
That's right.
That one question will save you thousands of dollars right there at the table.
No, thousands upon thousand, because if it is a unilateral, that it means one. If it's bilateral, that is 2, you and them. They are obligated. Let me pull this up.
They are
obligated
and give you full disclosure. Not you reading the document. They have to tell you. If the person is presenting the contract to you, they have to give you full disclosure of every document in that contract, every page of that document.
So therefore, you want the original instrument. So it talks about it here. A unilateral contract is created by an offer, then it can only be accepted in performance. And this is how we get people things off of people's credit, by the way. Okay. Overview. In a unilateral contract, there is an express offer that payment is made only by the party's performance. Another example of a unilateral contract is a reward or a contest. In a unilateral contract, the offerer may revoke the offer before the offeree performance begins. Typically, the revocation needs to be expressed. So again, once you understand, and again, they talking gibberish, you're like, what are they saying? They're talking in confusion.
And this is another
Correct. Offer acceptance and consideration makes by the contract. That is correct.
thing. All contracts, which they don't tell you, have to be in plain language. The Plain Language Act makes it clear
That we understand, not them.
yes,
We,
that they
the
have-
consumer,
that the
must
consumer has
understand
to
it.
understand the plain language of the contract. But because all United States contracts by all companies, you know what I mean, are unilateral, you can get out of every last one.
Well, not all are unilateral. Some are bilateral. Some are bilateral contracts. And so that's why when you are
But-
dealing with what's going on, you need to ask for your original instrument, because inside of your original instrument, it can say that your loan can be transferred or sold.
Well, that right there is already illegal right from the door, because under 15 USC section 1602, section G, you are the financee, you are considered a private lender. So even though that language is in that contract, that is totally wrong and illegal. So when I say they're all unilateral, they are, because when you look at all contracts, your car contracts, school loans, whatever, they're all illegal because they have to tell you what type of contract it is. And they don't.
Which code are you talking about? Are you talking about 1602 or 1692?
15 USC section 1602. Section,
Okay. Which definition are you looking at?
Section G.
Okay, from terms of the creditor. Okay, refers only to a person who both one, because remember, guys, at the beginning of what I said, either you are the person, the entity, the corporation, the trust, or you are the consumer, the sack of blood. Okay, so you're the original creditor, which you are extending the credit for them to write so they can go out and get money because they don't have money. The banks have no money. This is what we're talking about. They have no money. So, all right, so let's give it to them. The terms creditor refers only to a person who both regularly extends, whether in connection with a loan, there is no such thing as loan, but that's what they're saying here, with loans, sell a property or service, or otherwise consumer credit, which is payable by agreement in more than 4 installments, or for which a payment of a finance charge is, or more by required, and 2 is a person, which is an entity. Let's bring it up real quick. Person is natural person or an organization, because the person can act as 2. You can act as the consumer, or you can act as an organization, which is a trust and all that other stuff. Okay, all right. To whom the debt arising from the consumer credit transaction is initially payable on the face of the evidence of the indebtedness, or if there is no such evidence of indebtedness by agreement, notwithstanding the preceding sentence in the case of an open-end credit plan involving a credit card, which is your social security card, your driver's license. Those are the other credit cards or coupon. Offer a discount, which is finance charge, are creditors. So I'm going to drop this inside. This is actually another class on consumer law, and I actually teach on consumer law, because again, when you know who you are and whose you are, you know how to get out of certain things. So are you paying your bills? You paying statements, Orlando?
No, I'm letting my company pay. I'm letting my company pay.
You let your company pay?
Yeah, my company.
Your corporation paying your statements?
Yeah, all of them. Every last.
Okay.
My LLC.
Okay.
All day long.
Okay, I'm just making sure you mean, which one are you talking about? The LLC that you created, or from your original birth certificate?
LLC, which I created, but I'm now forming the trust, putting that in the trust. Then I'm forming the mortgage eliminator trust for
Okay.
that. But I'm flipping my other LLC inside the mortgage eliminator trust. So it's going
I was
overlap.
speaking in reference to your name being in capital letters and where you could file with the IRS so they can pay the bills. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, you talk about the Form 56?
Yes.
Form 56 and making them the fiduciary.
Correct.
You know what? I wanted to. I do need to holler at you because I know to fill that form out, but when it talks about the Form 211
Mhm.
and the
Well, you do have to fill out the 2848.
yeah, so I want to make sure I'm doing it right because that's why I do the Form 56 and I do an affidavit. So that way I give them instruction, but I've never been doing the forms because you do know if you mess up on them forms, they knocking on your door, giving you about 50,000 questions. So
True that, but that's why I make sure I deal with the UCC, which is
Right.
Uniform Commercial Code.
Yeah. But before I even do that, I don't like even playing with the forms. I just do the Form 56 and let them, be the fiduciary. But if I could figure out, because I don't want to mess up filling out the form. So I need to know do the forms right so I can just send it in with no problem. That's the only thing
Well,
I have.
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure that you fill out the forms correctly.
Right.
So therefore you don't have to, but I send it off to the company so the company can fill out that 1099A form. 1099, because I ain't filling it out.
Oh,
I ain't going to jail.
I don't.
Okay.
But see, a lot of the company don't like filling it out when you bring it. When you bring it to them, they don't like even touching it. They be mad.
It's not a matter of whether they like it. You're the original, the creditor.
Yeah, I know.
You are in control. You are the representative of your corporation in your capital letter. So that's where they have to do it, especially when you're filling out the forms. And because you can't fill out that 1099 OAI form, they have to fill
You're
it
not
out.
supposed to. You're not supposed
Well, no. I'm gonna say, well, you can go to jail if you want to. They gonna fill out the form because
Right. That's why I keep trying to tell everybody because everybody like, I'm gonna fill out the form. And I said, and they gonna be right on your door when you do it.
Right. So you do it the right way, you can get out of paying the bills they're supposed to pay. What you said, wait, Mike. What you mean, wait a minute? Is that Michaela? Or, did I say that right? Is it Michael or Michaela? Is that Michael or Michaela, Christine?
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay. So that's the same thing. What did you mean by that? Wait a minute, Michelle.
Living, not paying no bills. Sorry, my kids in the background.
It's
not paying
okay.
no bills. Like what?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
IRS.
IRS.
In 1933, the United States went bankrupt. Okay.
Yeah.
And because they went bankrupt, technically, we're not supposed to be paying any bills. That was the Banking Act. Roosevelt signed that bill. Okay.
So that was 18 U.S. Code 8 obligations of the
Absolutely.
and securities of the United States.
They are supposed to be paying our bills, but if everybody knew that we have unlimited credit and they supposed to be paying our bills, nobody would be teachers, doctors, lawyers, none of that. Okay.
Everyone's supposed to have a black card right there.
Okay. I am not so let me ask you guys this last question. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Nope.
Drop it in the chat. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Are you a citizen, y'all? I just wouldn't know. Are y'all? Because I'm not.
You mean Great Britain took all the gold and silver, Colin? Because they still own the United States.
Yep. Or they ain't never given that up. The interest rate is crazy.
Okay. What you mean? Yeah, unfortunately, girl, the United States is 14 square miles.
Oh, the 10-mile radius of Washington, D.C.
Yes, that's the United States. Each governor basically is the president of their own state. That's why when governors don't be playing right with the president, they be like, "Ooh," because the governor is basically the president of that state. United States is only 14 square miles.
The states are your countries.
That is correct. See, again, I asked you at the very beginning, do you want the blue pill or do you want the red pill? Because this is a lot of information that you have to absorb. And this is about building a legacy for your family.
But it's real simple if you understand accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, and trust law. Those four elements break down everything about the corporation. Because you're not in a government, you're in a corporation.
That is correct. You are a corporation. So you need to know, are you acting as a corporation when you go to court, when you deal with the police? I mean, all of that stuff. So you're acting as capital letters instead of acting as the living soul.
So when you do your paperwork, whatever, they want to talk to the executor of the estate. Where you thinking you're talking about business, personal business. When you walk out your front door every day, you're doing commerce business. They're looking at you as a business transaction. You know what I mean? A shareholder, because actually you're a shareholder of the bankrupt corporation based under your birth certificate.
Right, because everything is commerce, everything is contract.
Right. So you're a shareholder. You're a beneficiary. You're a
representative.
You're a representative. You're property. Your property at the same time. You know what I mean? Because what they're doing is under that social security number, they're benefiting off of it because you're still under that unilateral contract. Your mother and father signed that birth certificate, so they made you property of the particular state that you resided in. I mean,
let me tap into this real quick. Chris, I don't know if you, Christina, I don't know if you see this. Like, do me a favor, send me your social in a private chat.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how many times, and when people asked about us in the very beginning, why did we get into trading? And when we started learning how to trade, and we learned how they were trading us in the market, right? So when you are, I'm going to show you guys how many times, right? Chris, have you seen this? Christine? Have you seen how many times your Social Security has been traded?
No, I was looking for it on Fidelity.
So as of right now, you've been traded 4,027 times. That's
just this month, right?
No, that's overall right now.
Oh, overall for this,
right?
This year?
For her, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So well, this is how many times in all these different countries. Excuse me 1 second, sir. All these different countries, from Norway, Canada, Sweden. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. St. Peter's Port. I don't even know what that is. That's how many times you've been traded right now. That they've taken your money and traded you.
Do you pull the CUSIP numbers?
No, I don't. I was considering getting into more information on those CUSIP numbers. I just rather for them to pay my bills.
I used to have a partner that used to pull it.
You pay my look. I just want them to pay my bills. Anybody want their bills paid? I just want them to pay my bills.
Okay? Yeah, I get that.
I want my credit cards paid.
But you do know, like, and this is just an added expense. Like if you put that CUSIP number on there and whatnot, that already zeroes the account.
Truthfully, I don't know how to pull a CUSIP. That is the next step that we're going into after we had learned how to deal with the UCC and fill out the UCC forms and all of that. That is the next thing, because this is yours, honey, but I'm going to show you how many times my social has been traded. Does anybody else want to know how many times the social's been traded and you haven't been given a dime?
You gonna get mad. I'm telling you, y'all gonna get mad as up.
When you see how much mine has been traded, it will blow your mind. Now, she's been traded only 4,000 times, but I'm putting mine in.
I'm surprised on that. I'm
gonna put mine in. Wait till you see how many times
I'm
I've been
surprised too. I'm old.
I've been traded. Do you see this? 620,000 times.
Wow.
So how much revenue they done pulled off? You did you pull that number?
No, I haven't pulled that number. No.
Oh, if you pull that number, it's in the Fidelity, the Fidelity annual report. And once you pull that number, oh, you'll be very upset because I'm sure they got you under a couple millions of dollars.
Absolutely. I can tell based on how many times my Social Security has been traded.
Mine was the last time I checked, I was at 180 billion.
So I want you guys to think about this. This is the reason why I say in reference to using other people's money. What do you care?
You're using your money, actually.
Well, what do you care? How do you think everybody got, how do you think they got the money to pay people during the pandemic?
They were just taking it out of your account.
Exactly. Okay. That's where they were getting the money from. They were trading it in the market and they were taking the market. Simon, you want me to check yours? Where's Simon? I just saw.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, send it to me individually. I mean, you know,
okay.
And I will literally check yours right now because it's crazy. And this is not the only site, just so you know. Okay. This is not the only site, but just this is the main one that you can, it's unreal. So when people sit up here and get so concerned about, well, hold on one second, about, oh, I don't want to do the credit, you have unlimited credit.
Nobody has bad credit. Okay.
Exactly. This is a way for them to keep us down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you, Simon, do you have a lot of property or anything?
I have just one.
Okay. So you've only been traded at this moment 896 times on here. Okay. Cayman Island, Luxembourg, Sweden, New Zealand, Canada. You know, and Luxembourg, just so you know, Luxembourg is 1 in 5 individuals that are millionaires over in Luxembourg. Sweden, these are the places that have been trading you. Australia, they've been trading you.
So when you hear so this is what I always say when I do my lives on Instagram. When all y'all saying I'm broke, I ain't got no money, now you need to say, I mean, the situation is, how much money is this contract that I'm about to enter into going to generate? And we need to renegotiate the terms and conditions of this contract right here, right
because
now.
they're monetizing your signature.
Right, because your signature is worth $1 million.
Correct. So every time you sign in relation to a bank or anything like that, they're making money off of this commerce. Okay. They're literally making money off of that. Miss Christine, was there anything else you wanted me to go over, honey?
That
yes,
was phenomenal. That was so phenomenal. Oh my gosh. I know that everyone has gotten a wealth of knowledge. Can you please let everyone know how to get in contact with you and what you have coming up?
Absolutely. And Mr. Orlando, thank you for chiming in and giving us some more nuggets and just basically confirming some of the things that I've been saying. Because people, they're just like,
listen, I've been talking the same stuff so I've been on Instagram for like 4 months. I literally started with three individuals. Now I'm close to like 7,000 people, you know. So, I mean, I went on David Shands and told everybody about the mortgage. And he was like, I just can't believe it. I just, I do believe it, but I don't believe, and whatnot. So now I just changed my whole post and just start posting all the legal mortgages, fraud, the whole, every bank that ever got sued for mortgage. I mean, so this is every time when I say I can eliminate a mortgage, people looking at me like, okay, scam, no.
People have won. People have won. People have won their homes.
Right. And they have gotten checks. The last check, consumer sued Bank of America and the Department of Justice sued them. And they ended up having to pay one individual consumer couple, they paid $5 million. $5 million in damage.
Yep.
So basically I have claims with clients right now. I have about 7 clients in court right now. We taking everybody to court.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally when this case is over, they'll be able to retire for the rest of their life.
You definitely have to unlearn to learn.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. You have to, because our minds have been so conditioned to what we've been taught, we just been truly walking zombies, like straight up walking zombies, that it is like, oh my God. So it's like total disbelief to hear some of this information when it is absolutely true. This is what they're doing to us, and we're thinking that we can't get out of it, and we can.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so glad that I mean my partner, she knows about it. And I know about it, but it's just so hard to find people that actually know what I'm actually talking about when I say it. Because when you say it on a platform, on a particular platform, people look at you like, I don't know. Know what I mean? Well, I'm not gonna put myself on the platform unless I know what I'm talking about. Period. Know what I mean? So I definitely do want to link up with you and whatnot, especially with that IRS paperwork. I need that. I want to look at it. But I definitely do want to link up with you. So if you could drop that number in the chat, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Christine will make sure you guys have my number. Now put my Instagram in.
Okay.
Out of respect for her platform. Okay.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, just out of respect. But you can always reach out to me. You know, you guys can reach out to me on Instagram. But as long as she gives me the okay, I'm good to go. Okay. And so she said I can mention what I'm doing. The credit river decision, look it up. I'll definitely look it up. Okay. I'll definitely look it up. I am here in Atlanta. Hold on one second. We are hosting a gift funded tour, gift funded weekend here in Atlanta. I'm super duper dope excited. We got some great speakers that are going to be there as well as myself. Let me pull it up for you. Hopefully Christine will be able to make. But we have Minister Matt Better. He's going to be talking about the trust. We have Budget Gal, which is going to be insane because she talks about she bought her house in like 2 months. I'm sorry, 2 years, because the way she budgeted her money. It is insane. Okay, how she talks about budgeting. Okay.
I want to say that I literally over the weekend just got some land. It ain't that big, but I got some land. You could build like 2 houses on it. But guess what? I didn't put nothing down on it.
That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about all those things that you can. What you guys don't realize is you can get a lot of things for free. So let me just give you guys a quick lineup. Taquita is going to be talking about the contracts. So if you want to get government contracts, that's Taquita. SBA loans, that's 7A, that's Trellis. E-commerce, she's going to be doing the real estate. Nonprofit, scaling, These two young men right here, 20. I'm actually going to be on Facebook Live tonight at 10:30 with Sterling Hot Shots. That's $3,000 a week, if I remember correctly. $3,000 a week with Hot Shots on trucking. He's 20 years old. He's going to be talking about that. He's going to be also talking about funding as well with me. That's my nephew. He's 21 years old, just to hear him talk. And then, of course, my two amazing sons, Alexander Scaling Marcus, is going to be talking about operations in your business. And Mrs. Christie can talk, she can speak to that because she deals with Marcus all the time. And he is straight business. My son is straight business. He's always business, but he's great. So I'm just grateful to them because I couldn't be in business without them. Activate that land patent and that piece of land. And you need to get the allodial title on that land, by the way. So if you want to make it here in Atlanta, you can go to letsgetyoufunded.com. Y'all come on up here. We got the hotels on lock. The hotels are exactly 1 mile from our office where we're going to be having the event. You're going to get fed if you're going to do the VIP. So it's going to be brunch and learn on Sunday from 10 to 2, all day Saturday. And then we're going to have our meet and greet on Friday night. So we're going to do a little bit of partying. I hope you guys can make it, Chrissy. I hope you can make it up here. I know you got the baby, but I hope you can come, please. But we're going to have a great time and you guys are going to get a lot of great information and we're going to shut it down November 5th and 6th. That's all I can tell you. We're going to shut it down. So before I get off, does anybody have any more questions? And I'm grateful for you guys staying on and being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Dr. Tamarra Allen, she's phenomenal. Her entire family is phenomenal. The way they run their family business is phenomenal. I'm just so blessed to be partnered with them. So definitely hit her up on her Instagram. Definitely go to the website so that you guys can be in the room, be in the space. I know that I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. I'm actually going to be in Atlanta. When is it? October 28th and 29th. So I want to link up with you, Dr. T. But yes, I'm gonna start making some arrangements so that I could be there November 5th and 6th. Thank you for letting us know. So yeah, absolutely.
Coming for the other event on the 28th?
Yeah. Are you gonna be there at the dinner?
Yes, I will be there at the dinner. You coming with us?
No, you know Joubert.
Yes, I know Joubert.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be there.
You should have been there with us. What are you saying?
I know. Listen, we're gonna be in the same room, same place, same space. So I'm super excited. I already booked my tickets, so it's go time.
It's go time, honey bunny. It is go time. I am super duper excited. I am super duper excited. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna pass you on over to the beautiful Mrs. Christine. I can't wait to see you, baby. You guys have an amazing day. Please follow me on Instagram. And if you have an opportunity, come join us in Atlanta during November 5th and 6th weekend. We're going to have an amazing time. I love you, bless you, appreciate you, Christine. I thank the Almighty for you.
I just followed you, so reach out to me.
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody needs to follow her, okay? She needs to have however many people's on this live right now, 15 people right now. She needs to have 15 new followers and get in her DM, okay? And go to letsgetfunded.com. But anyways, that is it for tonight. If there's no last questions, comments, or concerns, thank you, Dr. T, for pouring into the community.
Yes, ma'am.
Love you guys.
I'm glad to have you. Thank you.